What's up, everyone? I am Trebus. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Thursday. I know I am. You know why? Because we're moving up. We're moving up in the leagues. Today is Thursday. That means we're in Platinum League. Snap! We're getting valuable here. None of this bronze and silver business. Actually, is Platinum worth more than silver? It's probably not. I'm going to petition... Someone leave me a comment and let me know what's worth more among these elements, because certainly, I mean, diamond has got to be the most expensive, right? Yeah. Anyway, it's Thursday. We're looking at another Zerg replay, and let's actually get and talk about the game rather than ramble about precious metals. Okay. Alright, so we're in Platinum League now, so we're going to be talking about scouting, of course, quite a bit more. Scouting is just ridiculously important for Zerg players, and we're going to see our first little instance of scouting here in a second. By the way, let me introduce the players. This is STFU seriously, and that's seriously spelled as in Siri, as in like the Apple thing that you try to talk to, but it doesn't actually know what you're saying most of the time. Yeah, that thing. Okay, so here's the first thing that happens weird in this game. So our Zerg friend here, who I'm going to call Siri, just because I can, because I have that power. I'm going to call him Siri. He scouts his opponent at the close air positions, and he chooses to pull away his overlord. That's cool. That's fine. I think the decision here, once he saw that his opponent was right there, since he scouted him so early, he's actually choosing to go for an early pull. I think that's the decision here, but I see something else that happens that kind of makes me question that, because you would think with an early pull this was a 11 pull at a really weird timing. It was actually after the overlord was made, but still on 11. So yeah, it's pretty weird. But you would think with seeing this we would see some early pressure, but we're actually not, and I'm going to call that quite either a missed opportunity or just a poor decision to go with the early pull, if that's indeed what it was. I would definitely go with a later pull than this, not 11. Go for, like, you know, 14, 15 kind of pool timing. So we're getting this queen out early, and we have some silly extractor business going on here. I mean, it's cute. I probably wouldn't do it. I don't know. I don't really know to say if it's bad. So let's talk about scouting real quick. Have not seen anything yet, but we should be getting some Zerglings out. There are our first two Zerglings. These Zerglings are... their destiny is to sit at the bottom of this ramp. That should basically be your mentality every time with your first Zerglings, especially against Protoss, because you need to be poking up there and seeing what's going on. So, where did those Zerglings go? Where did those Zerglings go? I don't know, I lost them. They're there. Alright, so they are going to go scout. See, we're getting this hatchery a little bit later here, as well as mining gas. I'm hoping this gas is going to be for just a little bit of Zergling speed action. Now, this is really good. This is what you need to be doing with your first couple Zerglings. See, one goes on the watchtower, and then the second one goes to poke up the ramp. A little over-aggressive with the Zergling. I would prefer to keep him alive, but it is good to be scouting up and seeing what he can see. So, looking at that right now, all it's really looking at is probably just a pretty normal sentry expand from the Protoss. Nothing strange or crazy at all. So I wouldn't be worried about any kind of crazy early bust coming in, but I would have my second scouting timing set up, which is going to be this overlord. After that first Zergling can no longer see anything, you know, he's sitting his ramp, he's hiding things, maybe you could see this pylon or something, but if you lose him, you need to have your eye on this second overlord coming out. By the way, at home, just droning up. That's all we're doing. Getting a Roach Warren, which I think is unnecessary right now, but, you know, it's not that expensive, so no real big deal there. Just droning up at home. And here we go for our number 2 timing, and this is to scout any kinds of... could be a silly 4-gate coming in, a delayed 4-gate, or looking for a Stargate, or anything like that. You just need to be knowing what he's spending all this gas on. And just as a note, I would also have some more overlords, like an overlord around here, to come in and spot the gas. Actually, that first overlord I would have sent around here so you could poke him in, look at the gas, and then another overlord around here to suicide into the base around this, you know, 6.5 minute mark, 6 minute mark, somewhere around there. So at this point in the Zerg base, we're just going up to lair. We got that roach warren, but we're not really making roaches, and just continuing to drone up. I think all of this is perfectly fine looking. We'll probably be looking to get a third base pretty soon as well. Now, whoops. Okay. What we should be thinking about with respect to our third base is whenever this Protoss base is going up. Ideally, we would have had some more lings around looking for this expansion. When we see the expansion, we know that we can take a third base fairly quickly and not have a super big timing push coming. So I would definitely have some lings out, still scouting around, looking for something like that. Also poking in and seeing the types of units that are being made, so you can know how to react. Which, if you're poking in, let's say you poked in with a Zergling and saw this. Some Protoss players are going to choose to do a little poke with these sentries. It's a little bit risky, but it also forces the Zerg to make some units. So some will do a poke like that, some won't. I would have a spine crawler, maybe two, and just have that ready for that, maybe an extra queen as well, just for the creep spread and for defending the attack. And then just be ready to make a bunch of Zerglings once you see it start coming out. So, alright, tech choices. We have made our tech choice. We're going to go for an infestation pit. So we're going to be going for Zerglings and infestors most likely, okay? We are getting roach speed, which I think is indecisive at this point. I would prefer to actually be spending that on Zergling upgrades, because we're going to be making a lot of Zerglings. Like, if we're going to be making infestors, that's pretty much going to eat up all of our gas, and you don't ever really get just a couple roaches, which is the only, you can only make a couple roaches if you're making a lot of infestors. So I would prefer to not get that and maybe get +1 attack or carapace for Zerglings. So we made some Zerglings early on, and we're going in for a little bit of poking action. I think this is good to at least look around and see what you can see. Obviously you see a lot of sentries, and so you know you're not going to have other kinds of attacks going in. That definitely should not have happened. That was like equal Zergling numbers to sentries, and sentries aren't great, but they're a little better than one-on-one sentry versus Zergling action. So we saw the base, we've taken our third, and I would start thinking about scouting again at this point. I like to kind of think of the first and second base as being like a tier of tech that's viable, right? So on one base you can go to a certain tier of tech, and if you don't do anything with that tech, then you've pretty much lost the game. We're past that point. He hasn't done any DTs or void rays or freaking carriers or motherships or any silly little tech rush like that, so he's just been staying mid-tech. Now that he's got a second base, he can kind of go to that next tier of tech, whether it's upgrades or whether it's going for a robotics facility, which is what we're going to see here. I would just again, have my mind on scouting. Basically every time your opponent gets a base, I would really think about scouting, think about seeing what kind of units you can see. So we're going and making the first infestors. By the way, I haven't been focusing on the macro side of everything, because the macro's been pretty good. We talked about it a lot in gold and silver. Gold, silver, and bronze, so it doesn't really need to be talked about anymore, in my opinion. So we got the infestor energy upgrade. Anytime you've been saving up gas like this, always get the energy upgrade first. I just highly recommend it. And we're seeing this attack come out. Okay. I'm going to back up a little bit. Okay, when are we going to see this? I'm actually going to look at our Zerg players screen. So we've got the watchtower. When we see this attack, bam, okay? We see an attack coming. What's on our mind? Well, we could start making spine crawlers in the natural. If we have any extra minerals. We don't have a lot of extra minerals, so maybe we should just save them for making Zerglings or something. What's the situation? We've got a third base that's not going to be able to be protected. Unless we totally crush this attack, the third base is probably very vulnerable, so I would situate most of my defense at my natural, just so I can keep my main and my natural. And if you lose the third, you can at least still bounce back. So right now I'm worried about getting all my larva injects, because as the battle goes on, Zerg's reinforcements are going to be quicker. That's going to be the advantage you need to win this battle. All about the larva injects right now in preparation for this battle. Okay, we're seeing the attack come in here, and maybe an infestor on the ledge would have been nice. Certainly just seeing more units come out would be good. We got like, what, 3 larvae here, a couple larvae here, a couple larvae everywhere that could be spent right now. And we have supply. Really, those, you know, you should just be focusing on building units when you have an attack coming in. Kind of goes without saying. So here's the first thing that happens in the attack. Amazing fungal growth on the sentries. I love this fungal growth. Beautiful. I can't say how awesome that is, but the follow-up is a disappointment. It's a missed opportunity. We should have stayed calm. We shouldn't have run in here and said, oh, we got this awesome fungal growth, let's run in and actually try to kill things. We actually should have just held back. He can't push in with a bunch of dead sentries, and then just, you know, hopefully have had some spine crawlers or something back here, but mostly just continuing to make units, and we really could have actually held off that attack. I'm just going to show this one more time just to show kind of what the missed opportunity is here. These sentries were made for this push. The reason you do the sentry expand is so that you can have a follow-up with a lot of force fields later, and you can stay safe early on. So if you could disable those, that would be basically nullify a lot of what the Protoss's investment is here. Bad micro on the roaches. Oh, he misclicked on the statue. That's what it was. Oh no. That's so sad. How sad. Well. Alright, I actually didn't notice that last time. I thought he just ran past it. Okay, so sad thing on the micro there. I would have kept my infestors back and just gotten the fungal growths on the sentries. Would have been pretty huge. Okay, this game is probably over, but let's talk about crisis management for a second. What is the crisis here? Well, he's taken out my natural expansion. He's got force fields at my ramp, so I actually can't attack down into him. I would be focusing on trying to get any kind of units I can right here. Spending all my money at the larva outside of the base, and then any extra money that I have still left over, spend it at the larva inside the base, right? Because he's probably going to stay right here, keep force fielding the ramp, kill everything that's down here, kill these overlords, go take out my third. Does he actually know about it? Yeah, go take out the third, and probably your main base is the least of your worries. And if he does charge up and take out your main base, well, you're dead anyway, so whatever. So yeah, this is the part where you just hold off everything as much as possible. Don't send any units in. Just have them rallied right here to try to salvage something to happen. I think roaches are probably the best choice here. It wouldn't be worth it to spend money on an infestor or anything like that. Too many zealots with +1 for Zerglings to be really matter. But yeah, I would have just... Yeah, this game is pretty much over. Alright, so that was this game. I think this was a good example of actually a lot of pretty decent decision making and reacting to certain scouting information. There was obviously a big micro mistake. I'm sure seriously was just kicking himself with that micro mistake, because that was clearly what lost the game. But I hope there was some interesting ideas to see from this Platinum player. I think you lower league players, as you're coming in and seeing higher league players, at least you can start to understand some of the concepts for the reasons they're doing something, right? As well as you really lower league players still need to be working on your macro. I didn't focus on it in this video because it's for higher league players, but macro is going to get you out of the low leagues, and some of the more subtle things like I talked about in this video are more appropriate for the higher league players. So yeah, that basically going to take it out. This is it. Join me tomorrow, you Diamond League players. We're going to be looking at a Diamond Zerg, so we'll even get more into the nitty-gritty. Those videos might, I think, as the league gets higher, the videos have the potential to be longer if I want to select a longer replay, so that might happen. Anyway, continue sending me all your Terran and Protoss replays. I've been getting a lot of them and replying to all you nice, friendly people. So yeah, keep watching. Let me know if you want to watch. Actually, poll in the comments. Do you want to see Terran or Protoss next week? I'm going to just tally it up. Just tell me Terran or Protoss in the comments. You guys are going to decide, and then that's what we'll do next week. So thank you for watching, guys. I'm Trebus. GG.